Hey, welcome to iFlip for Math Mathcast, lesson 19-1 and 19-2, translations and reflections, also known as slides and flips. I'm Mrs. Gooding, and our quote tonight is by Babe Ruth. He was a very famous baseball player. He played for the Yankees and some other teams too. He said, "Don't let the fear of striking out hold you back." And I think sometimes in math we're afraid to take risks because we don't want to fail. And we just have to remember, if people like Babe Ruth were willing to take the risk of striking out in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, then it's okay for us to take some risks in our safe place of our classroom. Our learning goal tonight is to use coordinates to describe and sketch translations and reflections of figures. Oh, there's a baseball with his signature on it, and there's a picture of him signing baseballs. Our individual lesson learning goals are to find and plot coordinates on a grid, to use coordinates to translate or slide figures on a grid, and to use coordinates to flip figures on a grid. Use the terms vertical and horizontal to know which direction to reflect figures. Here's our vocabulary. I love that picture. That is Babe Ruth with one of his very close friends, Lou Gehrig, who had a pretty serious illness and ended up having to quit playing baseball, but he was a really great guy. So I think Babe Ruth thought he was a really great guy too. Our first term is transformation. A transformation is anytime you are moving a figure on a plane, but you don't change the size or the shape of the transformed figure. So in fourth grade, you may have talked about flips, slides, and turns. Now we call them reflections, translations, and rotations. And I wanted to help you remember that. If you look at the word translation, it has SL in it, translation. It means to move a figure up, down, left, or right without changing the figure at all. The term slide also has SL in it, slide, translation. So hopefully that'll help you remember those mean the same exact thing. A reflection is the mirror image of a figure. So here's a figure, here's the mirror image of the figure. The FL in reflection is just like the FL in the term flip. They mean the exact same thing. Here is an example of a translation. What I want you to notice first of all in this example is that we're going to have to learn to read coordinates. So I want you to look at point A. We always read coordinates across and then up. Always across first and then up or down, but always across first. In this case, point A, if you run your finger across the screen, you start off at the point of origin, which is that place where the x-axis crosses the y-axis. I can always remember which is which because the y-axis actually has a picture of the y-axis in it. Now that y right there, I don't know why they use that y, but if you use a capital Y, it has an up and down axis in it, which is the y-axis. The x, you just have to remember that the x is always the horizontal axis. Horizontal like the horizon. So there's also in the letter Y a V for vertical. That's the vertical axis. So where the x and the y axis intersect, remember we used that word last week, that is the point of origin. That is your 0 point. So your 0 baseline. And until you've actually moved up one or across one, you don't have any movement. So point A, if we go across 2, you see where the 2 is on the x-axis, and then count up 10 lines, we have point A. So as you look at point A on the grid, it says 2, 10. X always comes before Y, X, Y, Z. So we always write the X coordinate before we write the Y coordinate. So that first coordinate in the parentheses will always be your X coordinate. And that's your across and then your up. So 2 across, 10 up. Now, point B, I have to go across 5 before it lines up with that point, and then go up 10. So it's across 5 from the point of origin and up 10. And I write it, parentheses, 5, comma 10, parentheses. Point C is still across 5, but I only go up 6 to get to that point. So its coordinates are 5, 6. Point D in that rectangle is across 2 from the point of origin, and then up 6. Some teachers tell you in 4th grade that you have to scoot your chair back away from your desk before you can stand up. So you have that horizontal movement before you have the vertical movement. They also tell you with an airplane, it has to drive for a while horizontally before it can take off vertically. So it's always across and then up. I always remember it because across alphabetically comes before up, just like X comes before Y. Now, if I was actually translating this figure, we're talking about a slide. So we're not rotating our figure at all. We're not flipping or reflecting our figure at all. We are just sliding it. And we are going to translate that figure 5 units to the right and 1 unit up. And I want to show you that with my Bamboo tablet. So let's do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move 1 point at a time. So I'm going to move point A 5 units to the right and 1 unit up. So I don't count where I'm at. I can't count till I move. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I go up 1 unit. So this is my new point A, and I'm going to label it. Then I'm going to take point B and count 5 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 unit up. Point B. Point C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 unit up. And point D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 unit up. So that when I connect my points, I was really nervous about doing this because I have really straight lines, and as you can see, I don't draw really straight lines on the Bamboo tablet. Yikes! Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Okay, so now I need to count. I need to go across and then up to see where my points are. So here's point A. I would have to go across X, follow my X-axis across 7 and up 11. So 7, 11 are my new coordinates for point A. Point B is 10 across. See, I start at my point of origin, 10 across and 11 up. So 10, 11 are my coordinates for point B. And C is starting at my point of origin, going across 10 and up. That lines up with the 7, so 10 and 7. And then point D is across 7 and up 7. So 7, 7. So we're going to practice translations. You have grid paper in your flip journals. So go ahead and use your knowledge of coordinates, what we did at the beginning of the lesson, to draw in the figure that's already there and label it. And then go ahead and translate the figure 3 spaces to the left and 4 spaces up. Pause it and push play when you're ready to check it. Okay, let's go ahead and check this one. So we're going to start with point A. We're going to translate point A 3 spaces to the left. So remember, we can't count it until we've moved it. So we go 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left, and then 4 spaces up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is our new, let's go ahead and get our pen. I have no idea. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left, and 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces up. That's our new point A. B, 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left, and 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces up. There's point B. And then point C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Point C. And D is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we connect our points. Connect point A to point B, B to C. It's the vertical lines I'm so bad at, apparently. So now, even though my figure is really sloppy, yours should look really nice because number 1, you could use a ruler when you did it. And number 2, you're not doing it on a Bamboo tablet. So that is translating that figure 3 spaces to the left and 4 spaces up. Remember, when I'm going 3 spaces to the left, I can subtract 3 from my current X coordinate, and I can add 4 to my current y coordinate. So I want you to go ahead and reflect this figure across the horizontal line. This is a horizontal line because it's flat, just like the horizon goes across. Like if we look out across the land, we can see the horizon, the land, the place where the land meets the sky. That's the horizon. And you're going to flip it or reflect it across the horizontal line. It's a vertical flip because it's an up and down flip, but it's across a horizontal line. Go ahead, do that. Push pause and then play when you're ready. Okay, so when you reflect across a vertical line, or a horizontal line, excuse me, I'm going to look at my closest, well, let's start with A. A is 1, 2, 3 away from the line. So I'm going to go across that horizontal line, 1, 2, 3, and this is my new point A. Then I'm going to look at my point B. Even though I can't see my lines through the shape, I can see how many there actually are. So I can go, here's my point B. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from the line. So we'll start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my point B. Point C, if I started here at my line, it's 1, 2, 3 away. So 1, 2, 3 away. Point C. And point D is just 1 away from the line. So here's my point D. And then here's the part I'm so bad at. Ah! That's terrible. I can't do that. Let's try it again. That's better. And then we'll connect C to B. If I go fast, maybe I'm better. A to B, A to D. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm getting better, maybe. So that is a rhombus reflected across a horizontal line. We would call that a vertical reflection because it's an up and down reflection, like a vertical y-axis, but it's across a horizontal line. Go ahead and try B and pause it and push play when you're ready. Okay, you obviously push play because I'm back on again. We're going to start with point C because it's just 1 point away from that vertical line. We've reflected the figure across the vertical line. So here's 1 away. Here's 1 away across that vertical line. That's point C. And point A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. So we'll start here on our vertical line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Point A. B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away as well. So we'll start at our line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. Point B. And when I connect them very badly, I have to go fast. Oh, not too bad. Okay, I now have a reflection across a vertical line. It is a horizontal reflection because it's flipping sideways like this, but it's across a vertical line. So remember, vertical is that y-axis, so it's across that. It's time to challenge yourself. That's kind of cool, huh? Figure out the new coordinates for each point if you translate the figures 6 places to the right and 7 places down. Remember, when you move down into other regions of the coordinate grid, other quadrants, you may be in the negative numbers. So this is going to be really tricky if you don't know how to do it. Feel free to ask your parents. Feel free to Google it if it's okay with your parents. Make sure they check out your sites before you go there. But see what you come up with, and then I will help you looking at your points tomorrow when you come to class. I think this is a kind of fun one. It's really a challenge. There's your original set of points. So you can see point A is -5, 3. I'm not going to explain that because I want you to see if you can figure it out. And then once you've translated it, see if you can figure out what the new ones are.